Hey guys, we're outside. Today we're going to be doing a review on the bike rack from PACYCLE. And that's it right here. Now, one of my favorite things, I didn't know this until I'd actually getting ready to install it, is it has these wheels on the bottom, which you're like, that doesn't really make sense. But what does make sense is when you have it folded up, you can push it around like this, which is pretty darn sweet. And also, like, this is a pretty small package when you look at it. I'll get those exact measurements on screen, but it's basically, I'd say 9 inches wide by maybe 16 inches long. It doesn't take up that much space, which is really, really cool. And there's some awesome features. Right now we don't have a bike. We're actually going to pick up a bike, so it wouldn't be a really cool review if we just installed it and we're like, look at this thing. We're going to get a bike on there, and it's going to be a larger fat tire bike as well, which is one of the things that this thing is designed for. It's got these nice big wells here for the bike to go on, but we are going to walk through the process of installing this on the hitch right here. Then we'll travel with it, we'll pick up a bike, and then I'll show you my process for installing that in a car. No, for putting a bike on it. That's what I mean. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go through the steps on installing this in your car. Now, I've got a 2-inch hitch on here. I think this would probably work with not a smaller size, but a bigger size, and I'll show you exactly what I mean when we get into it. So this is actually the hitch part. This is folded up. So what you need to do is reach down here, pull this lever. Pull down until it's in to flat mode here, and then it's going to click back in here. I'll lift this up a little bit. Boom, now we're locked in. We are good to go. So first thing we're going to do is set the camera up, because I am probably. So let's go ahead and start by getting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the first half of this into the hitch. So we'll do that, and you'll see we got this guy right here, and this is actually what's going to help lock into place with our hole right there. So let's go ahead and get it fitted. Okay, boom. So once it's kind of in there, once we got it in here, what we're going to do is pull this out, push it in, and there's another hole right here that this is going to go into it. It's spring loaded, which is actually pretty cool. So slide it, pull it. Once you've got it on there, you can just kind of slide it until it snaps in there. And now this thing is not going to come out, right? But that's not what we're looking for here. Now, I like to pull it back just to get this tighter on there, which is you kind of get it wherever you want to in there. And then I'm going to turn this bad boy and just keep on turning it till it gets nice and tight. Pretty nice. We've got a lock right here, as you can see. So it comes with 3 different locks. One is going to lock this on here, and we've got these 2 support arms which are also going to be locked. So you lock this, and then this doesn't, or it just freely spins so that people can't unlock it. Get in there nice and tight. And so this is what it looks like when it's in here. I'll demonstrate a few things before we head out, and then once we got the bike on there, I'll demonstrate it again. But we've got this little lever right here, which I usually just use my foot for, and once you press this down, it unlocks it so we can fold this down, which is super convenient, because if you've ever put a bike on here and you're also going camping, you wanted to put some stuff in here, you'd get this, you'd have it set up, you get your bike in there, and you go, oh crap, I gotta put some stuff in the back. And if you don't have something that can, you know, pop out like this, this isn't gonna open. But once we push this, pull it out, even with the bike on here, which is cool. I had an e-bike on here for a camping trip, which is why it's all dirty, because I've already used it. You still can open the back, got plenty of room, couldn't close it again. Plenty of space here, and it just snaps back in place. Boom, and we are good to go. Now, this wouldn't be a very good bike rack if these just stayed like this. But what I've been doing, I use one of these straps here, and I just, let me see if I can do this with hand or so. If you guys get up, first of all. when you have this thing open like this, then these come down, kaboom, and kaboom. Now it's starting to look a little bit more like a bike rack. So we're gonna go ahead and fold this up, go pick up our bike, and I'll demonstrate putting a bike on there, and then we'll do a little review afterwards, see how she did. We're gonna be driving about 10 miles today, nothing too crazy. Kind of filming this as I'm doing some other stuff, so let's get into it. Now, one thing that is kind of annoying about having, oops, don't want to get demonetized. Now, one of the things that's kind of annoying about having a smarter, newer car and then having the Hitch is we do have a like rear backup assist that happens, and I'll show you how that can be kind of annoying. So obviously it's sensing this, right? And so you see my rear, my RAB is on here. So if we go back too fast, I'll demonstrate, make sure nobody's back there. It's gonna apply the brake, right? Now if you go super slow, you can kind of cheat and it realizes, oh, there's something there, and then it'll turn the assist off. But if you just try to go fast, it'll do that. Now I'm pretty sure there's ways for me to be able to disable that, but most of the time I just kind of listen to the annoying beep, go real slow, and then it realizes like, oh, this is attached to me, and then it turns off. So just something to note. And if you do have that rear backup assist, might be something worth, you know, doing a little Google and seeing if you can turn that off, because yeah, like I said, it's kind of annoying. The first step is going to be unfolding these. I'm gonna pull these down. Boom. Now it's starting to look like a bike rack. Over here on the right, we've got all of our accessories. We've got our small attachment handle, our large attachment handle, and then we've got our ramp and whatever those are called. There, it comes with two of these straps, these ratchet straps, found the words. But I'm just getting one bike today, so I just brought one of these. And the first thing we'll do is we'll demonstrate the ramp. So this one just folds out like so. A nice little ramp here, and it's got this little connection right here. Now all of these have a hole. I'll show you guys that. They've all got this hole right here. So all we're gonna do is slide this into here. Just gonna slide on through to the other side here. Let's see. Oh, we gotta look at it. We'll kind of get the right angle. There you go. So now we've got this ramp, which is cool. You can just get your bike lined up. This is the bike we're taking right here, and boom, you pop it up here. Now what I have been doing is I'll take this one, and just so you guys know, so we're not lying to, I've already got the bike up here, so I know what setup's gonna work. We're just gonna use this small one. If I could find a spot to use two, I would do that. But with this one, go ahead and just pre-install it right here. We'll let it set here, so we know that's going to be our first connection point. And then we're going to roll the bike up here. This one, this is the Big Sur from IMA. This is a medium-sized one. Normally with step-throughs, you'd want the step-through bar. There's a bar that goes from here to here. That gives us a lot more clamping options. But with this one, I found with that small one, it'll fit right around here, which is going to give us a really solid base. So between that and our tire straps, and then that ratchet strap over there, it's going to be pretty secure. So let's go ahead and demonstrate how we're going to get this thing up here. All right, so using the ramp, we're just going to line it up and really just push it onto it. Push the grooves. Adjust wheels here a little bit. About centered, you know, it'll feel a little bit better that way. So like I mentioned, we're going to put it right here. It looks like we're sticking out a little bit to the front. Bring it back a little bit. Just tighten this down so it's nice and secure. That's pretty good. And really it's going to hold it while we prep the rest of the stuff, which is kind of now, I had mentioned about the locks, and so this is how those work. I'm going to get one of the keys here, stick that in, go towards the lock mode, And now this thing just spins freely, doesn't tighten or loosen it, so you can't get this thing off. So we got this thing locked in here pretty good. And this is really nice because it's really gonna hold it here. I mean, I'm standing over here, right? So obviously I trust it, you know, pretty well. And the next thing we'll do on the tire straps, a good spot for those. Now the tire straps here are really long, which is nice, because sometimes especially with these fat tires, they don't really make these long enough, or they're not really designed for fat tire bikes. There is tons of room here. I'm going to just cinch that down, probably tighten it up a little bit more after we put that ratchet strap on. And over here on this side, grab the other one. Now one thing to note is when you're putting all this tension down, you don't want it to be on the spokes. So this one might be okay, but if you ever get to, you roll it up here, let's just see, it's kind of on the spokes a little bit. So all you want to do is just grab this tire, rotate it back a smidge, and that's going to give us a nice gap in between the spokes here. So we're going to come back and tighten these up, but already we're looking really solid. So a really great starting point. Next thing we'll do is remove this. I don't need this guy anymore. Fold it up, set it to the side, and we'll get our ratchet strap. Now one of the things to note here about this one, I found this out, not the hard way, but I did do this wrong the first time, is there is this gap in between this part and this bottom part of the frame here. You have to go in between here with this ratchet strap if you want to be able to pull the bike out, which we do, right? It's a really nice convenient feature of this particular rack. So if you do it down both of these, it's not going to allow it to, detach here and pull the bike forward. So that's what I would do, is we're going to go between here, down here, but we're just going to go in between here. Now we do have a little bit of this excess stuff. Normally I just tie it off somewhere. So if you want to band it up, put a band around it, that's fine. Normally I'll just kind of wrap it around here a little bit, tie it off. So now that we got this ratchet strap on here, we got this, we got our tires here. Now the ratchet straps pull it down a little bit more, so these are a little bit loose. So we're going to press down the bike a little bit, cinch those up, press that to the inside, push down a little bit. That's cinched up pretty good. And looking very, very solid. Now this is the part, it was a little bit scary for me the first time I did this, because it seems like it comes out quite a bit. When you're doing it, we're going to push our foot right here. Boom. You just grab the bike, usually by the handlebars, pull this out. Boom. And it is solid, not going anywhere. We still have access to the back here, which I utilized quite a bit. We were camping out of the rooftop tent here, so we got a lot of our accessories and stuff back here. Boom, close it. And this has an angled edge here, so you don't have to repress your foot down on this thing. It's just going to slide into place like so. Boom. And we are locked in, good to go. Let's go ahead and travel our 13, 14 miles here, and we'll see what it looks like at the end of it. All right, so 15 miles later, let's check and make sure this bike is in the same position we brought it. So they're nice and tight. Just a little test right here. Boom skis. Yeah, she's good to go. So like I said, I went out to this place called Eagle Ranch down here in Texas. So Houston to Rock Springs is like a 6-hour trip. And it wasn't this bike I took. I took another e-bike. It was the Zen Samurai that I have, which you may know from my 30 miles, 30 days shorts series that I did last year. I still use that, ride that bike all the time. And that was the one that I took out there. I've got it set up with another seat for my son. And my wife was out there running a trail race. So we got to go out there and see her a couple different spots and do some exploring. And did really well, so that's 250 miles-ish. So we put about 500 miles on the rack so far, and it's held up really well, and I'm glad that I have this in my garage. As somebody who does a lot of stuff with e-bikes, this is definitely something I'm going to keep for quite some time. So far, really, really digging it. And if you guys have any questions about PACYCLE or anything else we didn't cover, let me know down in the comments below. I love